The Secretary, the President yesterday, on Friday rather, released an executive order that encourages the FTC to ban unnecessary occupational licensing restrictions. I've been particularly involved in that as it related to returning veterans who bring skills back with them, or veteran spouses who are, or military spouses who are going from one state to the next. What are you doing, and what do you think we can do to encourage more cross-state collaboration in licensing and to eliminate needless barriers for licensing, particularly for those people who some way have either been in the military or have spouses in the military?
Yeah, I don't have a direct answer for you to that question, but my past understanding of being in the legislature or in the city of Boston as the mayor, it's a concern, because people would come to our city and they'd want to work in a certain industry, and the license was not recognized in the city of Boston, and there was an ability at the state level to get a waiver. But it's something that I don't have enough information on, and I will look into it. But I definitely think that, particularly military families, they're not in. I have a cousin that's in the Coast Guard. In the last 10 years, he spent time in San Diego, up in Portland, Maine. He's been all over the country because he gets shifted from base to base every 3 years. Right. So again, if he had a side career that had a license, he need to get that. So I'll work on that with you. I don't have the direct answer for you on that.
Let's work on that. I think the executive order clearly heads in the right direction, but let's work on what we can do now. That is largely a state and local determination up until this point. Many of the states, including Missouri, are moving in the direction of making it much easier. I think our first military spouse that got an immediate license when she came to the state was a lawyer who, within a few days of moving to Missouri with her husband, who was at Fort Leonard Wood, was practicing law. And the more of that sort of thing, whether it's a lawyer or a beautician or an electrician or
teacher,
a commercial truck driver, whatever those licenses are, I want to work with you on that. In another area, I was pleased to see the department, in conjunction with the Department of Homeland Security, announce the availability of an additional 22,000 H-2B visas provided for in the 2021 omnibus bill. These H-2B visas are a lot of them in hospitality and landscaping and timber. In our state, I see those generally as jobs that actually protect the other jobs that are there, coming in, filling a part-time gap that allows the full-time Missouri resident employees to have a job that they wouldn't have if the hotel couldn't be open, or that they wouldn't have if all of the landscaping work that needs to be done at a given time couldn't be done. I don't want a detailed answer from you here today, but I would like you to commit to working with this subcommittee to guarantee that the program has sufficient returning workers to meet the seasonal needs of our small businesses and our local industries. And fishing would be one of those industries in coastal areas. Senator Mikulski and I used to work closely on this particular issue. Would you be willing to continue to work with us on this, Secretary?
Yeah, there's no question about that. And not only that, I think that this program also benefits the people that are coming here, working and taking back home the revenue back home to their families. Mm-hmm. And I think that also it's a kind of a win-win for all sides. So I certainly will continue to work with you on it.
Another area I mentioned in my opening comments was your budget request that included a $35 million set aside to serve workers in the Appalachian and lower Mississippi Delta regions. Really, we began funding this line particularly in 2018. I was the chairman of the committee at the time, but Senator Murray was the ranking member. And that funding has created and will create employment opportunities by providing reemployment and training assistance in areas where they're needed. Can you speak to the success of the grants in this area, these regional commissions like the Appalachian Commission and the Delta Commission?
Certainly, I mean, there's no question about it. These grants are beneficial to those areas of the country. And, you know, I hear the feedback I get from the Department of Labor, from the workforce development side of it, is that a lot of these different areas want increased grants and opportunity to access the grants. So it's beneficial. And that's why the additional revenue that I'm looking for in some of this workforce development and grant money will allow us the opportunity to make more investments in those areas.